To avoid the absurd procrastination I would put on when it comes to going from the studio tour to the office tour, we're doing it the next day to make sure I actually get it done. So this is where I work, where most of the work is done. You saw where I do all the video shooting, but this is where the editing, the production, the social media managing, all that kind of thing is handled down here, as well as my live streaming. I mean, this is both going to be an office tour and a live streaming setup tour because they are one and the same. We're going to start in the middle with the main core area that I work. I have roughly $100 Alera Illusion chair from Amazon. No DX Racer, no nothing magic. Was affordable and is incredibly more comfortable than any of the Staples or Office Depot computer chairs I've had before. Super, super happy with this bad boy, and I'm kind of glad I didn't spend the whole $400, $500 on the DX Racer chair. I'm also trying out a balance ball replacement. We'll see if that actually sticks around, but I digress. As I mentioned in the studio tour, we did build out an entire custom desk. MDF 2x6s, same setup as I had at the old apartment and at my parents' bedroom. Well, my bedroom when I lived with my parents. Same general idea of the desk, but I made bigger cable cutouts and it's longer. It takes up basically the entire wall, which is freaking awesome because you can see, got a lot of stuff here. So the main battle station here, I use primarily Monoprice monitors. So I've got a 4K monitor, 1440p monitor. Both are from Monoprice. They're all right. They were affordable. Nothing fancy. Always looking for an upgrade if anyone has the hookup, but they've served me quite well for a couple years now. I see no need to like invest in my own upgrade anytime soon. It's going quite well. I've got webcams atop pretty much every monitor for my streaming setup. The Logitech Brio 4K webcam, C922, and then on my, we'll touch on this in a second, but my 1080p streaming monitor, I have a camcorder for that view as well. Desk mats cover the entire desk, just get a nice comfortable surface that my mice and stuff can sit comfortably on. I've got 3 keyboards going now, as well as 3 macro pads. So I've got currently, which I always swap this out and I'm about to swap it out, the Logitech G810. I forgot the actual code name for it, but it's a Logitech, you know, glowy light up keyboard. My Watts Code keyboard is now a macro keyboard for all of my editing, pasting in sound effects and so on. This is a little wireless Bluetooth keyboard to control my tablet, which I'll show you in a minute. Genovation CP48, talk about this all the time. My main macro keypad for editing. The new addition, the Elgato Stream Deck, which has been a blast to use. I've got a ton of videos up on that. And then a Shuttle Pro, which doesn't get as much use as it should. I've got Lexar Hub for managing my SD cards. Logitech MX Master Mouse. SteelSeries Rival 200 mouse for gaming. If I do PC gaming, I sometimes swap it out. Usually have my laptop and notebook over here for when I'm doing side work along with all the other mess. We've got sound foam up on the walls to reduce some of the echo and reverb along the shelves. We've got plenty of my toy and miniature collections as well as some game discs and stuff up here on these shelves. Some of them have fallen down, I need to fix those. And then my beefy Synology router, which is a boss. And then we kind of start touching on the audio side of things, which get really messy. Before we do that, I've got a cat and a glowy computer under the desk. Doesn't get much better than that. He's a cutie. Computer's awesome too. So for my streaming setup, I wanted audio that could be processed live, that could be processed on the fly to save me time in production and to make live streams sound better. So I have my Electro Voice RE20 mic that I've reviewed and talked about plenty of times. But then you have my big audio rack that I've covered in plenty of videos and did dedicated videos on. For the most part, it's still the same. I have added an expansion of an AGA professional graphics card, which I'll be reviewing soon, as well as the DBX 286S processing box for my streaming headset. I touched on that briefly in the Mod Mic review, but I'll have dedicated video on as everything else. Recent additions are the Mackie CR3 studio monitors. I realize these are supposed to be at ear level and at certain angles. I obviously can't put them at ear level because there's stuff in the way, so this is the best I can get for now, but they sound freaking incredible. I'm super, super happy with those. And then I've also finally mounted up my 4th monitor, which is a tablet. That's a Samsung Galaxy Tab 7, back when I worked at Staples, and I have it set up with that keyboard controlling it to pull up my Twitch chat if I'm streaming PC games. I can pull up my Plex media server to play movies or play YouTube videos through the speakers here, and it's a little laggy because it's old, but it plays them and it can just
and Halo 2
run them through the speakers thanks to my big giant complicated mixer setup. Now we're going to reach the streaming setup side of things, which is the big thing that I've been really proud of and wanting to show off since I've been doing so much streaming lately. By the way, twitch.tv/EposVox, 3 days a week. I've got my Chromebook set up, which keeps putting the display to sleep even though it's not supposed to. Has my Twitch chat and Nightbot running. So when I'm gaming on this monitor for my console games, I can always see Twitch chat. Don't have to look over at the screen, anything like that. Play my game, glance at Twitch chat, good to go. Behind it, I have my console mess. The PS4 is the only one that stays hooked up for the most part. My Xbox is mainly just a nice Halo-themed PS4 stand. But I've got external hard drive for my Wii U, external hard drive for the PS4. They're all routed through an HDMI switch, which then goes to an HDMI splitter, which then goes to the monitor and whatever capture card I use. I switch between the Elgato HD60S, an Epiphan capture card, and currently my big broadcast AGA card. And then my camcorder also runs through an Epiphan capture card as well. And then that all gets mixed in OBS, produces a nice live stream. And then my big old boss HP printer I did a video on forever ago. This is the longest I've used the same printer since my very first printer, so I guess that's a standing ovation for it. Same file cabinets I've had for over a decade now. Some of the drawers, I've got gadgets that I use in my desk sometimes, paperwork. Nothing too interesting in there. The cable management back behind everything is kind of a nightmare, but back there is where my internet modem resides, which then runs to the router, and it also runs to I have a Linksys 16-port gigabit switch right there. And then I have a longer run that goes to a Netgear switch in my server, which I've talked about and I'll touch on in just a moment. And that is it for my main working setup. This is where I do all of my editing, all of my PC gaming. I've got more of those headphone mounts that I talked about before, and one of those producer's choice sound blankets. This is where I do my gaming, my editing, my live streaming, my production, some video watching. That's a video from BBK Dragoon, and generally kick a lot of ass. I also have back under there another Epiphan capture card for capturing laptops. I'll just run an HDMI card over. And that's my System 76 Lemur. Still use it daily for writing scripts and things like that. Keep my nice little secret stash of Sunkist down there. Not a sponsored spot, just what I do. Then over here, next to my setup, kind of hidden away next to my monitor position now, I have my fiance's setup. She's got two 1080p monitors, Logitech C920? Is that the C920? Yeah, the original C920 webcam, HyperX Cloud 2 headset. She likes the flat keys of a basic keyboard. So basic keyboard, Logitech Proteus Core mouse, one of the best gaming mice I can recommend, and just a basic Staples office chair. And then my old computer tower before I got the sponsored one. That's my FX 9590 build down there. And then we have the server rack, the $15 server rack of legend that I talked about. And well, I have a dedicated series of it now. It's a big giant APC net shelter, and it houses a lot of stuff. And we have all of my NAS units in there, my big render server for my Cineform RenderThon server series. It's now both a render server for certain projects and a Plex server, and I'm always looking to expand its uses. I've got a Dell PowerEdge R410 in there that I don't really use much. A Netgear 24-port switch, very handy, and then some old VCR stuff that I'm trying to sell. Stays in the bottom for right now. Up top, we've got some products that I'm awaiting to review: microphone, headset, capture card, so on. I keep a monitor running from the render server with just a constant TV stream, usually CNN. Sometimes the channel changes on its own, just so I can listen. And this really crappy $5 robot dog speaker, it's supposed to light up. It doesn't.
A routine workday for JDS Industries, a company that makes trophies.
But it has a decent sound, so that was the only speaker I could easily hook up to it. And then I just keep some of my basic office supplies and things like that up on top. Paperwork, Blu-rays that I burn for backup, DVDs for backup, flash drives and adapters, pins, so on. And this is the front view of the server, and it's blocked off. And this is the front view of the servers. So that's my Synology DS916 Plus, which is my edit bay, and then my QNAP TS451A, which I just kind of use for backup storage. Then my render server and the Dell PowerEdge, and a Belkin terminal access point that came with the rack. If you want to see more videos about the servers, check out the Cineform RenderThon server series or my $15 server rack series. But that is it for the main office setup. This is how I work. I'm super proud of it. I'm super proud of all of the recent changes that I've been able to make it as functional and just useful for me as possible. I've got monitors so I can keep an eye on things and do as much work as possible. Now have a fourth screen basically for playing videos, monitoring a Twitter feed. I can pull up Twitch chat if I'm streaming PC games, can do a lot with that. Got new studio monitors for speakers so I don't have to use monitor speakers, and they sound freaking awesome. Webcams. Oh, this is, by the way, a wall mount for my Panasonic G7, which is the camera I'm using right now. But sometimes I'll do shots of me sitting in front of the computer. I just mount it up here. It is rock solid and gets the perfect angle for a vloggy kind of view instead of using a normal webcam, because we all know how bad webcams usually are. Got my audio processing rack and now an extra capture card input as well. It's a breakout box, Chromebook. I'm just super happy with the overall setup. So I do hope you enjoyed my office tour as well as the studio tour. If you missed that, link in the card icon or video description down below. Had a blast sharing this with you guys and finally getting it cleaned up and organized into a more presentable state. This is how I work efficiently and hopefully effectively, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content. If you like the video, smash the like button, get subscribed. Consider checking out our sponsor, TubeBuddy, the #1 tool for YouTubers that I could possibly recommend. It provides so many great features, and I honestly probably would not be where I am today on YouTube without TubeBuddy. So tubebuddy.com/EposVox to learn more. Otherwise, subscribe for more awesome tech videos. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want me to focus on any specific aspects of the setup, and I will see you in the next video.